Ottawa begins to consider the possibility of a Quebec referendum. Is that going to beat out the Alberta referendum? This is what the Liberals have done to Canada. We have a country that is not Team Canada. We have the provinces pitted against each other. We're fighting over a pipeline. We have people, talking about nonsense on here, arguing about things too, instead of like tapping the vast resources. We need a real leader that comes through and says, this is the plan for Canada. This is how we have Canadians. I did interviews with MNP talking about, 67% of Canadians are $200 away from meeting their monthly obligations. Yet, we don't want to tap our energy, our biggest resource. It's like that's our asset sitting right there. Nope. Anyway, Quebec independence could become central to Canadian politics next year, and Ottawa is already making plans. According to Conservative Party source discussing the issue with CBC, it comes as the Parti Québécois has led in the polls for Quebec for 2 years now and has promised to hold a referendum on Quebec sovereignty during its first term should it win power back next year. Mark Carney's government has already held talks about potential unity crisis that could be unfolding in Canada, according to CBC. I mean, it's not just Quebec. I mean, if Quebec goes, Alberta goes. If Alberta goes, Quebec goes. I mean, it is the unraveling of Canada. But when we can't even get a pipeline. I mean, we talk about this on the show all the time, the sovereignty. There's so many different competing sovereign nations inside of Canada.
But it's almost you saying what you were saying now about Alberta and Quebec. It almost feels like it's getting to be like one or the other now, isn't it? Because they're so similar. And it's also what it represents. But you say there's several countries within Canada. I mean, fundamentally, I would say there's two countries in there. There's Quebec and then there's the rest. And the rest is very complicated and mixed, but I think loosely speaking, that's true. And there's an interesting thing here, like a Liberal source tells CBC that we need to start promoting the benefits of federation to Quebecers. Do people in Quebec really need to be told what the benefits are to them?
Yeah, they've been living off of
this whole bloody system seems to exist for them, to keep them happy. Hence we have an extremist MP like Stephen Guilbeault trying to drive the national agenda, trying to kill a project thousands of miles away from where his constituents live. I mean, there's another bit in this story which is quite interesting where they, and elsewhere as well, I've been reading about this, where it's comparing it to the 1995 referendum and how there was like that love bomb, wasn't there, from the rest of Canada, and when they went to Montreal and trying to persuade Quebec to stay, and there was all this kind of affection from the rest of Canada, trying to almost begging Quebec, like, please don't go. And what a lot of people are saying now, including in this article, is it wouldn't be like that now. Now it would probably be, how can we help you leave? Like, what can we do to make this easier for you? And I feel like that's true, actually. But just based on my own sort of experience of life in this country and speaking to people in this country, I don't think that there's much interest at all in keeping Quebec in Canada. Like, if it came down to it, I think a lot of people would just say, all right, bye-bye.
I know the Newfoundlanders would like it. They would, then Toronto's only an hour away and they could get down there and watch a Leafs game.
Well, that would be one of the biggest questions, like what would happen to the maritime provinces, but
that's an old
Newfoundland joke.
That's an old Newfoundland joke.
We don't just report the news. We live here too. We're your neighbors, bringing you stories that matter to all of us. No government funding, no outside influence. Kelowna Now, local, independent. News you can trust.